Like episode 13. You got
This
me.
is episode 15.
Well, no, on
The way
Spotify.
on Spotify, okay.
It's a teen.
We got my co-host Josh,
Sup? What's poppin'? This is Josh at Josh Talks Pop.
and we got my buddy Brian, who's going to be a guest today.
85. Josh Talks Pop 85. Sorry about that.
You good, bro?
So we're right now recording on Spotify. We're also recording on my profile, Jeremy Blanton, on Facebook Live. Josh, are you on TikTok right now?
TikTok, Josh Talks Pop at 85. I'm live and in living color.
Are you going to be on YouTube as well today?
I'm recording. We're gonna drop the episode on YouTube after we record it.
Sounds good to me. Now, don't mean to interrupt you. I just want to let's do that because we're about 5 minutes into the record and we're just letting it flow. It was going great. So go back to what you're talking about. We were talking about the yen.
No, just different currencies around the world that I've been looking at because I got, as of right now, plan for my trip is 3 to 3.5 weeks in Thailand, 2 weeks in Japan, and I got about a week where I can flex either way or pick a different spot to drop into real quick.
Okay.
So I've been looking at different spots because I was looking at prices for hotels in Tokyo for Christmas, New Year's. I was like, all I really need to do. It was like $300 and some per night at one place, but if I do it in November, then like Thanksgiving time, it's $110. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the beginning. And then even Thailand, I was looking at prices now because I'm gonna book up stuff in advance. It's like $60 for a really nice hotel in the middle of Bangkok for New Year's. I'm like, oh, I'll do that.
Well, you and I had this conversation before. I mean, you're doing the whole Asian tour, right? But are you planning on going anywhere else besides Thailand and Vietnam?
Yeah. Eventually, I'll go to Colombia, Ireland, Scotland, Spain.
Colombia.
No, I'm talking about other Asian culture.
If I works out next year, technically New Year, so next year, 26, I'd like to visit Korea for a couple weeks and either the Philippines or hit up Beijing or Hong Kong.
Here's the thing, when you go to the Philippines, you don't come back with like 6 dogs.
I already have a bunch of dogs.
I know. You'll come back with more.
I'm not coming back with more.
Because you'll see the puppies and like, I love the puppies. You're like, who's got the puppy?
I've learned this is going to be my year where I start my pseudo villain arc where I'm not nearly as nice as I used to be. I have to calm it down a little bit on.
That's what the Muay Thai is for.
Bro, I've known you since I was 17 years 16.
Yeah.
You are a very nice guy. You try to be mean, but it's like there's no mean.
It's not mean. It's just not nice. Not caring as much, I guess. The way to say it. I don't know how to say it.
So, let's see. Let's actually get into the actual normal podcast part of it. When I was catching them.
Big week in football this week.
I haven't talked to Brian since he got back. So, all right. Well, let's go over college real quick. Let's talk about college happened.
Ohio
Penn State, Notre Dame had a barn burner.
Who was, man, I did not see that comeback at the very last minute. I did not see that happen.
I was thinking, man, Notre Dame, come on, man. I don't want to see Penn State in the final. And Notre Dame came through. It's one of the biggest universities ever. It's real good for the college football playoff to have them.
Really
and
good for
now
them, too.
we found out last night, Texas, they went with Quinn Ewers over Arch. I think Arch had one design run. He didn't throw the ball any. Quinn Ewers had the whole game, and they just could not handle Ohio State.
So real quick, touch base on Notre Dame. Notre Dame actually, because they won that game, they came back and they have a hell of independence when it comes to their digital streaming. Because on Peacock, they're the only college team on Peacock, so they own it. Oh, they own it for the next 7 years still, but they're averaging $20 million a year.
They've been running with them since the 80s. NBC.
Well, not the streaming. Not the streaming.
I know that, but I'm saying before that, they were the only team that could play on NBC since the 90s.
Yes, but they're getting $20 million a year.
They're Notre Dame, bro.
Because of they did this.
There's those universities, the Notre Dames, the Miami, Texas, Ohio State, Michigan.
Now the question is,
legacy colleges.
Out of that $20 million, how many think the players are getting?
Probably half.
Brian, you played. What do you think?
Actually, the money's probably coming from other people.
If you were to guesstimate, what do you think?
Probably 1%.
Me, I wouldn't give it that. I think they're all maybe all the players splitting 500,000.
Yeah, that's a lot for a college student.
Yeah.
Tell me what college student needs more than $1 million. That's why I think the NIL is ruining things, but it needs a cap.
It's a joke. First off, they're already getting tuition to play for a place. It's exorbitant fees that people will take decades to pay off, and then now they get on top of it.
But I
and play
agree,
sport.
they should be able to get paid, but not like that.
They should be able to do things like years and years and years ago. For me, the guy from Colorado who represented the U.S. in the Olympics because he was fast as hell,
Yeah.
and he got paid, sponsored to do that, and then they kicked him from the
team.
from
Yeah.
the team because of that. I think if you have an outside source, that's fine, but getting paid an absorbent amount to go to school, it's like, man. But it is what it is.
I mean, you get all that, but then I read Keyshawn's book where he's playing in the Rose Bowl and they just win, and half the stadium's got on the number 1 Keyshawn jersey, and then after the game they go to McDonald's and he couldn't afford a Big Mac. Like, come on. There's certain people that should be getting paid.
Who was the running back that was
But millions is
he
ridiculous.
ended up when he played for he was with Tennessee. Then he ended up going to Miami, but he was also in Draft Day of the movie.
Oh, I have no idea who you're
Anyways,
talking
he
about.
almost got in trouble because he was like, "Look, coach, I'm hungry, I'm starving, I need something to eat, and I'm going to get some food." He was going to go get a free meal. Coach was like, "No, don't do that." Coach went pick him up, got him some to eat because he didn't want him in trouble
I understand.
for that because they won't be considered.
That happens all the time. There's lots of them alignment and stuff. They're not going to get paid. That's why you go to Notre Dame as a lineman, and yeah, maybe you will get $50,000. That's a lot. $50,000, a lot for a college student. That's also, like he said, getting his tuition paid and no rent and all that. So I see that. Now, when I say getting paid, they should be getting paid, but not millions.
Not yeah.
Yeah.
Millions should be for like an Arch Manning, $1 million. But now these guys are staying in college. Like Carson Beck, you're a U fan. He's staying in college because he knows he's gonna make more same at the U that he will.
I was actually gonna bring that up.
We'll get to we'll
No,
talk it
no.
now or we talk it later. But
Well, I was saying it's on thing.
this is a new thing. This guy's a national champion, winning quarterback, and he could probably go in the first 3 rounds, maybe round 2, I think.
Well, because of his injury, his mentors told him to stay in.
And that's because of the money.
It's
Before
also because
that,
all the first rounders that are going into the draft this year.
there's not a lot. There's Cam Ward, there's Shador, and who? Quinn Ewers was supposed to be a top 1, but I think losing his job to Arch mid-season, stuff like that, losing this game last night, it's going to affect him.
But because of that, Carson Beck's and he's going to be entering the NIL instead of drafting. Is actually there's talk he going to Miami.
No, he's committed. He's going.
He's committed.
Yes,
Okay.
he's going to Miami.
He's going to be hanging out with his girlfriend Hannah Cavender, who plays.
I think they are now the number 1 odds to win it next year.
Odds don't mean shit, as we've seen.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to do better than Cam Ward did this year, so I don't know who's staying at what positions there. I'm not tapped into college recruiting like I used to be. I'm a big NFL draft guy, and also, like, we got some topics with all the coaching firings and all that, but
That's a talking point too. That
I also see nobody did the wins and losses from last week. I didn't know that because you went live before I'm still writing.
Well, that's should have come prepared, sir.
I don't know who is. Yeah, and I kind of rushed us a little early because she said her dad had the lunch. Then he canceled, but now he's back in, so it's everywhere.
Brian asked me how long this usually lasts, and usually lasts to an hour and 90 minutes. It really just depends on the flow of it. So,
Yeah.
Well,
Let's go. College ain't my forte, so
well, you used to be a big State fan, or that was back in high school.
I'm a State fan myself, but it's not worth watching for us.
Yeah.
It hurts. It's painful.
it's back to being when I used to watch the Bills back in the day. Like,
Man,
I watched Miami suck for two decades. Okay.
hey, and they never suck. But look, I was a Florida State fan. There was always a light at the end of the tunnel, even when it was bad. There was like, okay, we're getting these guys. We're not getting the recruits. We don't have any money. Like, there's nothing bright. I said only Dion can save us, and he has no interest to come save us. So we're screwed, bro.
He's still Colorado, and his son in like 3.
Both of them are going. Shiloh's 5th-year senior. He's got to go. I think he's got a late round grade. He's going to be 6th, 7th round draft pick, and then Shador is going to be top 5.
6, 7.
But a lot of the experts say Shador doesn't even get a first round grade when grading him. But the need at quarterback, if the Browns, Deshaun Watson, he's out, and they got a top pick, so that's where your boy Cam Ward's probably going to be.
That's another one.
Biggest waste of money ever, Deshaun Watson. It's all guaranteed,
So good
bro.
news for the Browns. Good news for the
QBs
Browns is they have insurance on him.
Well,
So since he's out, they get $44.3 million back to their salary cap.
okay, cool. Well, the point being, I'm saying is now they are forced to draft a quarterback, I think.
They're not forced to. I think they're gonna make a run at what's his name, Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
That could happen, but
It's not
if
a
I
bad
was
thing,
them,
but it's still. But
that's a
what's the point?
band-aid, bro. Do they want to band-aid it or do they want to build a future?
A band-aid for a year while they train their new.
But do you think they have the squad that they're just a quarterback away type team?
No. And that's what's his name? The defense end wants out anyway. What's his name?
Myles Garrett?
Yeah, he wants out. He's done.
No, I'd hold on. I'd do everything I could to hold on to him.
He
He's
wants
my.
out.
I think he's top.
He's the one of the
lineman
best,
in the
period.
NFL.
But he wants out. He's done with it.
I can't blame him. He's never got to be in a winning situation, and nobody stays with the Browns their whole career. But
There's been a couple of them, but it usually takes.
But look, I was going
wins
to our Jaguars with this. This helps us in the draft if they take a quarterback. Now,
According to a couple of the mock drafts, we're grabbing a corner.
yeah, the guy from Michigan.
Yeah.
But now that they're forced to go, Travis Hunter might be in play. Where the guy from Michigan is an all-around better corner, but he can't run no offense. You put Travis Hunter in there with Brian Thomas Jr. and he's playing both sides. If we could get him, I'd rather take him. He's gonna sell tickets. He's gonna sell jerseys. Either way, I'm happy if we go corner. The D linemen, they scare me. I don't know.
Yeah, but do you think we have a chance?
I don't even know if we're playing the 3-4 yet.
Lineman from LSU.
LSU, you mean there's the big guy from Penn State's coming out, the big guy from Michigan. I don't know who you're talking about from
Anyway,
LSU.
okay. So we all, as we've learned traditionally, you can get the number one, you can get the number 1, number 2, number 3, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But if they don't perform, then you're just wasting money at that point.
That's most first round picks. Most 50% of first round picks end up being bust, and then half of that become decent players or a little over elite. It's like 10% end up being actual stars.
I mean, hell, the majority of great players that play from Jacksonville have been undrafted anyways.
Yeah, or low picks.
I mean,
mid round picks.
I think drafting is a science. I always pick to my boy at the Eagles, man. He picking Cooper DeJean in the 2nd round, man. What a freaking steal. The Jaguars should have been on top of that. The corner was in need. That guy's a tackling machine. He allowed 0 touchdowns. Like, Cooper DeJean was the man. We could have had him. Who did we get? We got a defensive lineman that barely played any snaps this year.
Okay. All right, so we're not going to do our college pick because that's next week. That's going to be on 20th for the national title. So, by the way, Brian, we talk a lot, so
We
be
might as
yourself.
well
Don't be
pick
afraid
the
to jump in
national title
conversation.
now.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, But
This current MAC draft has your boy Cam Ward going number 1 overall to the Titans.
motherfucker. Who's my take? So, by the way, do we want to update our Super Bowl picks?
Yes, that's what we do this week, but I'm staying the same. Are you changing? I've got
have
the
to.
Chiefs and the Lions.
I have to.
Why, your team didn't make it, Falcons?
Nope.
Okay.
Who else did I pick?
Chiefs ended up, or week 8, you took the Chiefs because Tennessee.
No, I thought I switched.
The team with the number 1 pick in the draft, you picked to go to the Super Bowl.
Didn't have that on my pick at the time, okay?
First
I load
the
as
dark
Brian,
horse. Okay.
as Brian knows, I load.
You saw the worst team in the
Yes.
NFL that's going to.
He's like, this is the Eli Manning era for them. They're gonna barely squeak in, just finagle the whole playoffs and have a miracle catch. They call it a day.
I thought they were gonna have another Music City Miracle moment every
I
single
don't
week.
ever want to hear about that again. We talked about this. This is bullshit.
So I saw a TikTok video where a guy did like the top 20 worst plays since 2000 to now for one for each team in the playoffs.
Yeah.
and he skipped the Music's and Miracles. Like, oh, dude.
Technically, it's 99, so.
Yeah, you're right. Still.
It was that 1 year before. Thanks
But
God.
it
But
happened.
it just led to just
it
17
happened in
years of
2000,
shit. So
though.
after that, it was just crap for 17 years at Buffalo.
Well, it's
So-
bright days now.
Yeah, it
So-
is.
Ever since y'all got
Allen,
Josh Allen. I don't know
Well-
if you know this, but I have Josh Allen.
I try to draft him, and the guy who never played, never knows anything about football hears me talk about football like
It's a
teams, and he's
it's
like,
a
"I'm
it's a
gonna
show
pick
trope.
everybody's."
Every week I would go. I
It's
have Josh
easier.
Allen in fantasy football and pick the.
Well, amazing stats.
Point,
he put
mus-
there.
point machine.
Yeah,
I mean, he's had one of the turnaround. I'm not trying to drag the man down.
Turnaround. He's the only quarterback
2
ever
years
in
ago,
history.
2 years ago, he led the NFL in interceptions. This year, 2 years later, he's great. I'm not saying
it
that
was
negative.
3
First
years
off-
ago.
First off, he's the only quarterback ever in history to have 40-plus touchdowns 5 years running. No quarterback's ever done that.
First off, the rules
Tom
are
Brady
different
didn't
and
do that?
It
everything.
doesn't matter.
I'm saying the
Yeah,
stats.
then you can
stats
say-
are era stats.
Okay,
is what I'm
then
saying.
you can say the same thing with Barkley if he would have played and got his over 2,000 yards. in
Yeah,
a 17-game
exactly. OJ did it in what 12, 14?
14.
So, yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm
Didn't
saying.
Tom
And
Brady
then-
do that when
and-
they went undefeated that year, then lost to the Giants?
Yeah,
Super Bowl?
because the Dolphins went 14-0, they went 16-0, but they lost to the Giants. in the
18
Super
and
Bowl.
1, I think, total.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There
I,
we
mean,
go.
I was just completely regular
There's
season.
the stat machine I was looking for right there. The very passionate fan.
Yeah.
You know, I love someone that knows the stats for me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's.
Go ahead, keep going, keep going, keep
We'll
going,
continue
keep
with.
going, keep
Because
going.
everybody's like, stats this, stats that. It's like this year with the MVP race, it's like, bruh. No, the only other person I'd say deserves it probably as much as Allen would be Burrow, but he didn't make it to the playoffs, unfortunately. Thanks God, because
Burrow can't be the MVP when you don't make the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying, though. I
And
agree
he
with
had
that.
a lot of down
If he
games
would- if
this
he
year.
would-
He was my backup in fantasy.
If he would have made it to the playoffs, I would say there's an argument at that point because this team was almost as bad as the
I
Bills.
think Saquon would be second.
Lamar shouldn't even be the dog.
You said should?
Should. I don't think he should be because if you go by, he had a much.
Who let the dogs out?
Jeremy.
Someone rang my doorbell. That's already here. Mother. Anyways, so for my picks, update my picks. Let's go Commanders and Ravens. Steelers. Commanders and Steelers.
Never call him.
So you're changing both of them.
I have to.
You had the Chiefs. You can roll with the Chiefs.
I have the Chiefs.
Yeah, you changed them. That was your for beginning. Remember, we had week 8.
you're
We
right.
changed. I got rid of the 49ers, picked up the Lions.
Give me the Commanders. All right. Well, since the Falcons.
Then that week, Aiden Hutchinson.
Actually, just so I can kick them out of the playoffs, give me the Rams.
And who we just found out was even a playoff caliber team last week.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I pick them every year. Every time I pick them this week or this year, they lost every single time without.
We just figured they were like a 5 or 6 win team, and they were like, "Oh God, they're fighting for the playoffs."
They're like 11-6. Like, holy shit!
They're in
NFC
there.
is just. The NFC, you're either like really, really good, or you're just fighting with the earth of the trash and just slide in.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Jags division. I mean, Texans slid in, and they're yeah.
You got the NFC. What the NFC West or Titans or not Titans? Titans. You got the Vikings, Lions, Packers, and
North.
Bears.
That's north.
NFC
Right.
North. What a hard division.
But the thing, yeah, 3 teams. They're fucking beasts this year.
Well, that is the Bears' defense is great.
And
Their
I
offense
think,
is so
I
bad.
think the Bears' bad record is because it's such a hard. Put them in the Bucks division, and I think they're fighting for a playoff spot. I'm not saying they get in, but I
Yeah.
think they're a little better.
They might get a couple extra wins, but what's his name was just so bad. It was a travesty watching. But that
He
defense,
didn't look so bad against the Jaguars.
You know,
5 touchdowns.
everybody looked good against the Jaguars.
Jaguars. It's when Burrow's backup came in, that man looked like Joe Montana. I was like, dang, they got a sweet backup. And then he sucked the rest of the year. I was like, golly, man, we're horrible. Everyone has their best career game against us.
That's how it works out, though. You know.
Except the Bills. The Bills always struggle. Except this year. No, this year, last year. Last
Oh,
year.
y'all made the playoffs. A lot of teams. Y'all got to
this,
get by
this
the
year,
Chiefs.
you guys did pretty good because I picked them that weekend.
See, I was thinking about do I go with them, but man, KC is such a proven team. They find a way to win.
Yeah. So let's go now.
Other things help them find a way to win too.
Yes, they are now the new Patriots. That is that's a fact.
Couple extremely horrible calls. Now the bounce kick. That's
that
one
comes
thing that
with
happens.
it though. It's called. Remember the book, the Jordan Rules. Like
Yeah.
it comes with the territory. When you win, that the Patriots had it forever because Miles Jack was not down. So as a Jags
No, he
fan,
was
we
not.
witnessed it. But you get the calls, man. You get the
always got
calls.
Yeah, so that's why
Them
say
refs,
you
they
gotta-
love
you gotta
talking
beat-
to Pat
FC
Mahomes.
didn't kill himself, just
you
like
also
Miles
got-
Jack
you-
wasn't down.
You also got the Taylor.
Now you got Taylor and the
Yeah.
Kelsey. That's all that.
You got to drive the
Kelsey,
cells.
you got Kelsey and
The number one sold jersey this year.
But
don't be slamming it. You play there, so don't be slamming it.
But we'll see what happens this year because I think that they've looked worse. They got their best record since they've been there, but they're not playing like that.
They statistically, their offense is one of the worst years they've had in years. Like every year, Mahomes' numbers have dropped dramatically, and Kelsey's, but this year is like they're pedestrian. Mahomes and Lawrence have this almost the same exact everything.
It's crazy.
Like passing yards, completion, touchdowns, all that until he got hurt. They were like leveled exactly the same.
Well, Trevor's problem's always been he has never been known to get off when to get off the field when he's not feeling it. That's why they were doing good then last year, and then they just
Yeah, he
Fell
should have
off a
went
cliff.
to the
Yeah.
bench way earlier and had Bathard play, and then the game Bathard won against the Panthers, he probably would have came back, and then we would have had very bad. That's why we'll get to all that, the decision makers and stuff in our hometown. That's gonna be a big talking point. Or we can just get it started now.
oh no, that's
After the
that's a
picks.
Jeremy talking point.
Oh,
We're gonna
I'm
take
ready.
two of my things. That's for me to talk about.
We're all gonna talk that because we're homers. We want everyone to watch this, but Duval team and
Duval.
I believe ownership, big mistakes. But let's do our picks first.
Well, go ahead and do your hey. No,
You
wait.
can't force them to do it. It has to be natural.
It has to.
Organic.
Put it down.
All right, so the first game we're talking about today is going to be the Chargers and the Texans, and there's going to be 11-6 Chargers versus the 10-7 Texans. Who we taking? Brian, who do you have for that
We go
one?
Chargers.
Chargers. Give me the Bolts too.
Okay, well, you guys are all going with the Chargers. I'm a big Harbaugh guy. He's got them going and everything. I don't know if he can get that one win in, but as a Jaguar fan, I just naturally hate the Texans, so I'm going to roll with the Bolts too. We're all aligned here.
Well, I mean, statistics. According to statistics, and traditionally, Jackson's always had problems with the Texans. But during their 10-year drought, they lost to them every time, home and away.
No, I get it. I understand.
The good thing, yeah.
That's 17 years of Brady beating our asses. Well,
17? That was 17?
No, that's not 17 total. But I mean, like the whole entire
Every
time Brady
year,
was there.
Brady,
Every year Brady.
same division.
Yeah, same division. He beat us every single year. I think we beat him during his run.
Fitzpatrick
4
beat them
times?
once, right?
I think we beat him 4 times total.
I mean, you guys beat Matt Castle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Brady, like playing against him, I think we won 4 times.
But you're welcome because Jackson took him out that year, so you're welcome.
Still doesn't matter.
It's in the past. We're talking present, baby.
True.
Castle sucked.
Man, that
Got
was...
paid.
Yes,
Yeah,
they did off
yeah.
that 1 year.
Got paid. That's how that always works.
They, Patriots signed into a, then they do the, what's it called, the label.
Oh, you're talking about the
Franchise label?
Franchise.
So they franchised them, then they sent it to the Chiefs, and they cashed out there because of the label. Anyways, next one we got is our return from last week is going to be the 10-7 Steelers against the 12-5 Ravens.
I'm going for the same result in that one. Didn't the Ravens win it?
Yeah, they won this last one.
Wilson, longer in the year, shorter guy, beat up body. Fields is a good backup if he comes in. There is Watt playing? I know he's been hurt.
I think he will play.
Yeah.
I think it's just there's
I
too
don't
much
think
on the
he's
line.
100% though, but I'm going with the Ravens on this one.
Running it later in the season always tends to do better in the cold with Henry. I hate Henry. God, I hate Derrick Henry so much, but
I love him. He's from here, so.
oh, I get that. But he just embarrasses everybody.
All right, so TJ Watt's cleared to play today.
Okay, I don't think it's gonna matter. No.
All right, so I'm gonna be the contrarian on this one, and I'm gonna go Pittsburgh on this one.
All right, you always are.
I'll go Pitt, even though I know they're gonna lose.
Hey man,
I can't go for the Ravens.
it's that bad, huh?
Well, no, that's just they annoy me.
I had yogurt and last night before I went to bed, and then I also had apple cider vinegar and water, so I got poop. That's why I'm taking the Steelers in this one. Let's get that feeling. That's what the feeling is.
Cool story, bro. Need more dragons.
Okay.
Need more dragons and shit.
So there's also
Night game tonight, right?
that's the 8 o'clock game, man. So next one we're going to do is going to be tomorrow at 1 p.m. We got the we got the 10-7 Broncos versus that 13.
What a great comeback year for them.
Yeah, I agree.
Sean Payton showing why he got the money, finding Bo Nix, same type of quarterback he had with Drew Brees, with the same smaller, quick yardage.
They started off like good in the first 3 games, then they fell off for 4, didn't
They went up and down this year.
they came back.
Yeah.
They went at the Jaguars.
But
and
even though fantasy football's over, I've grown loved because I have Josh Allen in fantasy.
you're gonna pick them
I'm gonna
again
go
next
with the
year?
Bills,
I
man.
gotta go with the Bills. There's no way ever I'd ever not go against the Bills.
I've
my team.
had to pick against my Jaguars, but I rarely do it. But I understand the heart. But this is a brain pick too.
Like literally, the entire.
He's saying he's picking with heart, but I think it's the smart pick.
I'm gonna go with the Bills in this one too. So
There we go.
I
The only team I think I truly feel like the Bills would honestly struggle would lose to would be the Ravens because of Henry. Henry always makes us look like children.
So you're saying if y'all play the Chiefs, you think you can get over that hump this year? Okay.
Yeah. Allen's playing
I
a whole
can
different
see
level.
it too, yeah.
Allen's at a whole different level right now.
I honestly think if you guys play the Chiefs in the playoffs, you're gonna lose because of bad calls.
I haven't got to the Jaguars, but a real quick. Joe Brady, offensive coordinator for the Bills.
Shut up.
First off,
Okay.
he's off the
He
market.
wants to do it later.
Allen.
That's my talking point. Shut up.
We're going to do it later, okay? Let's go on. Next game.
Man, we're about to put the gloves on, man.
My bad. Great minds think alike.
We got some of the truck.
I've got a bunch of stuff I've been trying to talk about, man. I got a bunch of stuff.
We should have pre-show rundown. You just started out of nowhere, bro.
Well, that's a great conversation.
I didn't even get y'all's first 10 minutes. I waited until you started with sup.
It was only 5, so yeah.
On to the next game.
Next one, we got the 11-6 Packers versus the 14-3 Eagles.
Hurts is playing, but what's the situation for Green Bay with Love? I know he's beat up.
Jordan Love's out.
He's out?
He's out. Let me just make sure, but I thought he was. I thought the season ended.
Defense is better.
I think the
I
Eagles
thought
have the best
he's out because of
roster in the NFL.
They're balanced across the board.
Yeah.
With Barkley,
Because of what we'll get to later, they have the best GM in the NFL.
Well, it only says he's off the injury report. He's off the report, and
Off the report means he's playing then.
It's actually going to be.
He'll play.
Yeah.
It
doesn't matter. I'm going Eagles.
Game time decision, but at the same time.
Brian, you said you want the Eagles.
I think the Eagles.
Where you at, Jeremy? You think Pat can come in?
Give me the cheese slices.
Okay, he's going with the Packers. That's your boys' team, right?
Yeah, Blake, and he's not on. He was supposed to be on today, but he had some prior engagements. We would have had a full panel, but no.
Yeah, you were like, we got a full panel. All right. Which I always hate because we already got one. I can't see you on camera. I like when everyone's on camera. We got to get us a stand.
I like to be the star of my own show. Okay.
I know, but I want us all to be in it.
I'm working on it. It's an expansion here. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. We're just learning. The views are so low. This is reps.
Hey, I have 20 recordings on every episode, or 20 listens on every episode. Granted, I've got them on loop. I've got them on loop, so I'm constantly listening to them. But still,
so
counts.
you're the 20. That's messed up. Okay.
Yeah, gotta fudge numbers.
Exactly.
This one I think is one of the hardest ones to pick. Our next one. Go ahead and tell us the records.
The 12-5 Commanders versus the 10-7 Bucks.
So I'm gonna say I always hated Mayfield. I never liked Mayfield, but I love him this year, and it's because I don't know. It just seems like his character is completely different when he was with the Browns.
I like Baker's. I like all.
See, I thought he was an alright guy when he was the Browns. I'm thinking
they gave up.
I'm thinking that Johnny Manziel being the piece of shit.
Yeah, they're compared to. They're
Yeah.
constantly compared
Exactly. And
They are a lot of like personality, everything.
And I think it's just they made him like the savior of everything and put him on every commercial and every with no justification. And he had the one decent year because he had two great running backs and a great defense.
The reason I like Baker better is he went to the other teams. He did like Sam Darnold did, and he built them. So he put in he paid his dues.
First off, both Darnold and him were at Carolina together.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they both deuced out. Now they're having great careers.
There hasn't been a Rich Gannon type in forever. Now, whenever these quarterbacks don't show out their first time, they disappear. Sometimes they stay long time backups. But now they're getting second chances, and I like this because these guys are talented. There's reasons they do get drafted young, but when you get drafted low, you're going to a bad situation.
Yeah.
And usually, them situations are bad for a reason. That's why the Jaguars stay picking in the top. That's why the Browns stay picking in the top.
And most quarterbacks, they should get drafted. I think they should have a year or two behind whoever.
That definitely works. You look
Couple
at
comments,
Aaron
yeah.
Rodgers, you look at Jordan Love, Carson Palmer, Dante Culpepper,
Yeah,
like
it
guys
takes
that sit
more
a whole
successful.
first year. It worked. Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Like
I'm also a big believer in also too. Your first 2 years, you have a set salary. You don't get the big meat. You don't get the big contract. You get a
there is rookie caps.
Yeah,
but
there is, especially after
because of Jamarcus Russell, Sam Bradford, guys like that.
Bradford.
Did
Lions.
you know I was calling
Huge.
Baker for the first half of this year? I kept calling Baker Mayfield Sam Bradford every week. I don't know where it came from.
I don't think
Those
the
rookie
Skins got him.
deals were killing team salary caps when they did one. Jamarcus Russell got like $72 million. And
He got
in
huge
salary.
over the offseason. It was ridiculous. He gained like 50 pounds.
The story of the coaches giving him the empty tapes and telling him, go watch these tonight, and then asking him the next one, what'd you think of those tapes? Oh, they were good, man. What the defense did right there. I think I can do it. They're like, bro, they're empty tapes. He's not watching shit.
So it was the $100 in the playbook type of rule?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's smart.
That's how they were like, this guy's not putting in the effort.
No.
We wasted our money. It's time to start over.
Well,
and his size.
Those are Raiders, though. The Raiders, they picked just the dumbest stuff.
They're the worst.
Al Davis.
When Al Davis was
Loved
there,
him,
he was
but
getting
he
the
was
fastest guy
horrible.
in the draft every
Yeah.
year.
It didn't matter what, unless the 1 year where he drafted Judikowski. Best
First
pick I ever
round.
lived. Never will see it again.
He also played 12 years?
Janikowski played like 19
Yeah,
years,
he's
bro,
forever.
He played like at
The
least
leg.
17 of them.
Being that you can't touch the kicker, yeah.
Oh no, he'd touch you though.
Yeah.
He'd lay you out.
In modern
He's
times, though,
huge.
Janikowski wouldn't have got drafted first and probably not drafted at
He was
all
like-
the way he did in college.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was from another
He's
country.
lucky he played in the
He
90s.
was from another country, wasn't
Huh?
he? Janikowski?
Parents were. He's raised here, but
Oh.
yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, well,
You'll never see a kicker get drafted in the first round again. Just in general. That was a rarity.
unless you
But
have
it
somebody that
worked
can kick
out.
the distance of the field.
Oh, Janikowski is.
If you look
No.
go back on that
You
draft,
never-
it's like
If
one of
you
the
can get a
smartest.
kicker that in college will kick the distance they feel to kick a field goal, you don't think they'll go in the first round?
No,
No?
never again.
Jaguars took a punter in the third like twice, I think.
Yeah. And that was ridiculous. Punters and kickers will probably never
I mean,
go.
anger stay here forever, but still, it's
I mean,
not.
I could see them all.
No.
Why would they even get drafted? Why would they just let them go?
Well, they do get drafted now, third, fourth, fifth. They do.
Yeah.
But
Why
the
is
first
that?
round, they're going to
ridiculous.
be there later. It's like
They're
picking.
good.
It's like picking a defense first overall in fantasy
Especially when
football.
Janikowski went. There's no reason
Yeah.
he should have went first. He would have easily got drafted by in the fifth round by the same team.
Trying to set a
It was
precedent.
such a rarity, but Al Davis always picked rarities. Like Darius Hayward Bay ran a 4.3, so he got drafted 6th overall. Nobody else had a first round grade on him type
Yeah.
stuff.
He was
That
a slugger
Jet
until the
guy
fifth game.
Ran for the Olympics, so he's in the draft. No team has him getting drafted. They take him in the first round type stuff.
He's all Madden.
He's in the Olympics. They
He
just
loves
don't
speed.
know.
He didn't care.
He
If you were
couldn't
fast,
catch. Couldn't catch.
no, nor could what's his name either. If you're just fast, bro, that's all he wanted.
That's Davis.
Just fast.
Speed,
It's
speed.
That's it. He didn't care about anything else. He overrid everybody. He's like Jerry Jones, just more retarded. What a
Jerry
kid
Jones
picking.
has had its moments over the years.
They must have played somebody when in his ownership days that was so fast that made him look so bad where he was like, we need speed. I want a guy like that. And he just stayed that
Well,
way.
he also wanted money. That's what it is too. Which that's what the NFL game is about, is money. So it's,
Yeah,
that's
Man,
Yeah,
No, John Davis, I don't
you
think
own
so
an
either.
NFL team, you're making money
Look,
every year.
Al Davis cared about two things: speed, and if you were just a nasty player. The nastier you are, the more he would have to you.
That was his 70s, 80s team.
No, he
In
did
the
it in the
90s, he was speed. Who was nasty in the 90s?
What's his name? The linebacker. God, I can't think of his name. Romanowski was.
But he didn't wasn't drafted there, right? He
Yeah, but I'm saying he always pulled players. If you're a nasty player in the league and you went free agency, he went after you.
Well, maybe free agents, but in
Yeah,
draft, he
drafted
was
speed.
all speed.
right.
But Jack Lambert and guys like that, yeah.
So he pulled them over. Oh, you're
Two
free agent?
months.
Oh,
Yeah.
you come on over here. You're getting paid, and
They
you can do
said
whatever you
them,
want.
them like 70s Raiders teams, they were fighting, like they were bullies.
Al Davis, he was.
Yeah.
God, you'll never see another
They
owner
were
like him
they
either.
were injuring
I
people
just
too.
want to
They
know
were,
why his hair, why
they were,
his son
they were
won't get
twisting
a
ankles in the
natural
pile,
haircut.
and
That haircut, he has to know is awful, man. Mark Davis, the bull, like,
Look.
come on, bangs. Oh God, why won't they? I mean, I know Trump's got his, but Trump isn't that bad. Trump's just got a floof, but
Yeah.
freaking Mark Davis has the worst haircut of all time.
Yeah.
He's either trolling everybody, and he's got so much money he can still get
He's trying
females.
to pull the Zuck look, you know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's had that look.
So Zuck is actually he was for a long time, and I Facebook Live, so I'm probably gonna get fact checked because I think that's still going.
That's what I just.
No, it got
I was
switched
about-
to,
I was about to tell you
yeah.
your post.
Yep, they got switched over.
No more fact
No
check.
more fact check. He's going to do a community notes like Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it.
Well, I don't think it's taken effect yet. It's been they take the live down.
No, what did the post say? First rat penis transplant. Mark Davis or Mark Zuckerberg
Yeah.
won't fact check. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that one. So who we got for Commanders versus Bucks?
Okay, but yeah, golly, we went off on a rant, didn't we?
That's how it's supposed to be.
I
Man.
don't think the Skins are going to make it.
You
dude,
gotta
because
let
they
it
ain't
flow.
calling it the other name.
You're
Skins
not
are going to
taking
make it. I think the
Skins?
Bucks are going to take it.
You're not taking
Mayfield
Forces?
is playing at a really high level.
Who are you taking, Jeremy? I'll go last.
I'll take the Commanders plus 6.
Bro, you and them pluses, all that don't matter. This is hard for me, man, because my heart tells me go with the Commanders. They got your favorite rookie quarterback. They got and my stepdad's team. He's a lifelong Skins fan, but my brain just tells me the Buccaneers. They're just gonna do it with Wade Mayfield, Evans. The defense playing good, Vita Vea, all them.
And they've been in the playoffs. They know the playoff level where
And that's,
Skins has been a while.
I mean, God, I love Daniels, but I'm gonna have to go with the Bucks. That's my first pick of the year where I think it hurt my feelings to pick someone else.
Last time Washington's in the playoffs. We do live Google things too.
Makes
He's
sense.
like Jamie on Rogan.
That doesn't work.
That's why I
I'm
took
still-
off my
I'm
TikTok. People were coming in, coming out, so I was like, let me just have me a stat machine.
I'm in the 2012 Rogan. So I'm listening to this podcast episode by episode, so back there. Man, they're also naming stuff too that's crazy that's going on now. And
We still got one more pick.
So who'd you pick?
I picked the Bucks.
Picking the Bucks? Oh, that's right. You just said hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
on
We got the one last game to pick, though. Minnesota.
Well, I know. I'm just wondering why Brian's gaggling right now.
Who cares?
I can hear his phone, so I was wondering that. There it is. There it is.
Turn your haptics off.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I'm just. He was about to do No, but
You're good. You're good. I just heard him. I'm like, that's not me. I'm like, oh, okay.
trust me, bro. Ain't nobody listening. Is there anybody out there?
No, I got a David and Joanne Adams that's watching.
What was it?
What up, David and Joanne? I'm on the other side of the camera. You can't see me, but
You hear his
hello.
voice.
Sup?
It's a
Sports.
beard thing.
You pop.
I just realized we all three have beards. And Brian's had beards as long as I've known him.
Oh, this is called a 5 o'clock shout
It's
out.
shit a lot. Especially in the Army.
Shout out to Scott Hall, 1991, not Diamond Stud.
So you mean the whole Razor Ramon thing was a ripoff of Diamond Set?
Yes,
Holy
totally.
crap! Oh my gosh! So
But it wouldn't say that in the WWE
they
documentary.
didn't say it in the lawsuits either. But yeah. So last game we've got the 4-3 Vikings versus the 10-7 Los Angeles
Did you
Rams.
just say the 4-3 Vikings?
14-3.
Oh, because I was about to say, bro, they play more than 7 games.
How are they making the
Not
playoffs
bad.
if they have only 4 wins?
They're an exception.
Look,
to
I'm
the
pretty
rule.
sure you're gonna go with the Rams
Because
I don't
Seattle
know.
did it years ago.
Oh, with the
Going to
7.
playoffs.
The 7, yeah.
It happens, but not 4-3.
No, that'd be a crazy division. I would love to see a division that so bad that like a team with 4 or 5 wins makes it. That'd be hilarious.
That's not possible because you have to have division wins to
Even if you have division wins.
Division wins determines who
Okay,
wins. the
so if
division.
you win 3 division games, it's still 3 division games. or
6
4.
games, but not 5, or whatever
You probably
happened.
get 4.
There's
Well,
been
actually,
a
I think
7,
that
but,
actually
but
the
when
division-
they've added an extra game since that Seattle.
That's right. The
also.
division game in terms if there's a tie. For example, if
Yeah.
the team's 14-2, or you know,
I think it'll be a 7-9. It'll be an 8-9 now. Would be what it would be, and I think might already happen last
well,
year.
Jacksonville's first time in the playoffs was 8-8. Now and that's when they
Oh,
the
no,
kicker
Yeah.
for Falcons
no,
uh,
we were better than
tripped
that.
on cow shit when he
We
kicked
won,
field
we
goal.
won 9
Missed.
games that year.
Anyways,
But
No.
that guy missed that kick on purpose. I tell you, I
No.
had just gotten out of the hospital. Morton Anderson had missed a kick all year. That was like a 32-yarder. I think he helped us out.
that was a Merry Christmas that year.
Yes.
So
Anyways, Vikings, Rams. Brian Flores, I love what he's doing with the defense. I tell y'all that every week. I'm so happy for Sam Darnold, what he's doing. Having Jets and freaking Addison, that's a big plus. The Rams, I barely knew they were a playoff team until 2 weeks ago. Stafford has all my respect. I like their receivers also, but I think the Vikings got a better defense. So I think they're the overall better team. I'm going to go with Minnesota.
the Rams are gonna be my dark horse because
Yeah,
every time I picked them throughout the season they lost, so we thought they were having a shitty year. But
Well, you just picked them to go to the Super Bowl, so you want to pick them and knock your Super Bowl pick team out? Is
they're
that what you're
gonna
saying?
be my dark horse. So yeah, so I'm either going to keep running or it's over with. So yeah, I totally
Alright.
forgot I picked them.
Yep, you picked them.
B, who do you got?
I think the Vikings take it.
Who'd you take? Did you keep the Chiefs in the AFC, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. You went with Vikings, you went with Rams. All right. That is the NFL slate. We got one college game still to
We're
go.
not doing that because we'll do that next week because that's
Oh, it's
on
2 weeks
20.
away?
Yeah.
All right.
Actually,
We
let's,
can announce who's in it, though. It's going to be Notre
hold
Dame.
on. I'm still in the NFL. Do we? How many games do we have separate between us that we're picking opposites?
What?
Probably next week.
No.
Or you pick when he has to pick with the other team, right?
How many separates?
I mean, do we need to do a point spread on that?
Oh yeah, a point spread. Which one? Yeah, let's. do
Which
that.
one? Let's point spread either on the Steelers Ravens or the Packers Eagles. Which one do you want?
I figure we would do the last game like we always do. We should be Vikings versus Rams.
Son of a bitch.
All
right,
works out
so-
perfect since you're already on the opposite side.
Give me. Except we're going to do this like college. I'm gonna pick a number and you do high or low. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. That.
No, I just say 49 points.
And I'm gonna say they're going to go over that 49. Do you think? Do you
Yeah,
think,
but
do you
wait.
think the over under is gonna be over?
There's 3 of us, so we got to pick a number.
I don't want to.
If you said it's gonna be over, so you gotta say
So,
50
49
something.
I mean, I
60
won't be able to do
something.
next week anyway because I'm working. So if you guys want to
You
go,
can still pick it.
You pick it. We're still
still
gonna
put it in
count
the
but
books.
not announce it.
So I'm going to go. You're going 49.
Yeah, because a lot of good receivers in this game between them, but there's good defenses also. I think it's gonna be over. Actually, I should have picked like 55.
Give me 26.
Bro, you think this game's gonna be that low scoring?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, yeah. Jeremy is how much did you say? 26?
Yep.
Golly, I don't see that happening
Yeah.
at all. Jefferson, Addison, Akula or whatever his name is.
26 between the two of them. It's possible.
Yeah, in the first quarter.
Well, then it should be an easy win.
Well, what do you got, Brian? How much total points between both teams scored?
what did you
Like,
guys?
say if it was,
No,
you thought
yeah.
it'd be 31 to
No,
30, it'd
I
be 60.
get what you're saying. I'm saying, what did you do?
I did 49.
Alright, so
I'm already regretting. I should have went with more, I think.
You go 58.
58, that's smart. I was thinking 55, but I'll stay with my 49 because I picked it, and that'll give us good separation numbers to count. Closest to the number wins.
So we're not doing our pick.
If
but-
there is even a tiebreaker.
Yeah, that's what I was a tiebreaker. Which I don't think we had tiebreaker yet this year. Okay. So
Yeah, we did. We did have the one. It was between you and Marcus, and you won
Okay.
by like 1.2.
So it's for the college game or college championship next week is going to be Notre Dame versus the Ohio State.
Yes, I think it's good for the college football to have two big universities like that make it.
But, yeah.
You know, legacy colleges. Ohio State's played in many championship games. Notre Dame's played in
Notre Dame's
lots of championship games. They've won them and they've lost them.
So
Same with the Bucks. You know, the Gators beat them. And
let's go and switch back to NFL real quick.
we're gonna go coaches.
We're talking about actually coach interviews that have been submitted for Jaguars.
Well, I was gonna announce the firings of all of them first.
Go ahead and do that.
Okay, fired coaches this year. The Jags cut bait with Doug Peterson, but they kept Trent Baalke. We'll get back to this. I think that was a huge mistake.
And you threw a fit on Facebook about that.
Because I think it's very, very stupid. Gerard Mayo, after 1 year getting fired, I think is wrong and maybe a little racial, but it'll only make sense if they bring in Vrabel. Then I could see why. Antonio Pierce, he lost his job with the Raiders after 1.5 years. Salah with the Jets, he should have been gone. He had many chances. Eberflus with the Bears, I never knew why this guy got a head coaching job in the first place. And a weird situation percolating is Mike McCarthy's contract's finished, and they thought they were going to eke out a new deal with Dallas, the Cowboys. But I guess they haven't come to terms in 3 days yet, so that's interesting. Maybe someone new might take over there, and that would be crazy.
Man, after Jerry Jones getting heckled the way he did, I think that left a real sour taste in his mouth.
Well, it's sounding like the Cowboys want McCarthy, but McCarthy must want more control, something different.
Probably
Like,
wants
there's
to
something.
Jones out.
I don't think
Well,
that's
Jones
never.
is the
That's
owner.
never gonna
That's
happen.
never gonna happen.
Jones plays two roles. He's both the owner and the GM.
I don't know if his
He doesn't
son
do
would
that.
ever sell shares in that team, but Jerry, while he's alive, that's going to be a Jones-owned team.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think he also
I think
he hired himself as the GM of the team too.
Yeah, I think. Well, he's always really
Always
been
been.
that, but
So it's saved.
I mean, he has a GM there, but
Technically.
it's always Jerry's.
It's more of a
It's more of a
placeholder.
He told me one story one time. I guess his son and the GM like
it's more like a
someone.
little stationary role. Here's the little person to sit here.
Well, he'll go into the room with draft and go, "Hey, I want this guy," and then he walks
Yeah.
out. And that's what it comes down to. And then if they don't draft him, it's okay.
Fire.
Steven told a story where him and the GM like the
Before.
guy who became a star, and I think it was Jalen Ramsey, and but Coach wanted Elliott, so I mean not Coach Jerry Jones, so they went Elliott.
Okay. So those are big firings. Okay. So back. Let's go and these are the head coach interviews that have been submitted. I'm gonna go with the ones that are actually first scheduled for today. You got two people, and they're both coordinators for the Lions. Ben Johnson, offense coordinators, interviewed for.
I'm pretty sure he's going through the motions at this point because he has said he wants to bring his own GM with him. Jaguars kept Trent Baalke. The word is that if we could get them, maybe they would try to talk him into letting Baalke get some president job, and he would bring his GM. But I think that's too much. He can pick out of any of those teams. Some of them are big markets, so I don't know. I think that's the A choice. Everybody wants Ben Johnson.
Well,
He would have been a
on the flip
top
side-
coach last year. He stayed in,
Well,
but I don't think it's gonna happen.
On the flip side, also interviewing today is going to be Aaron Glenn, the events coordinator.
And I like Aaron Glenn.
Funny thing about him is Patriots requested an interview for him for the job too. He told them to go F themselves, go fuck themselves. He doesn't want it for them. He doesn't want to coach them.
I don't think the black coach wants to go to Boston after seeing Gerard Mayo get fired after 1 year.
I don't think any coach should be fired after 1 year. I think it's ridiculous.
Exactly.
That's the most.
I
Especially a guy who was an assistant there
3
that
years.
long.
I think they should have 3 years.
How long was the assistant there? Like 9?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then-
Well, sometimes you can tell after 2 years it ain't working out.
Yeah, but it screws over, especially when they draft a quarterback. It screws over quarterbacks and so bad when they're young because they got to keep relearning systems and do different things. And
See, that's the whole thing is you get the new coach and the new GM in, and then they want to get their new quarterback in, and it's all going, and it has to all work, man. It's hard to pull off. So that's why this circle happens.
So before we go into why it's bad to fire someone after 1 year, let me run down the rest of them, then we'll talk about it. So Monday is scheduled interviews with Robert Saleh, the former Jets head coach.
No.
Oh, okay.
Unless he wants to get D coordinator for Ben Johnson or
So
Joe
we
Brady,
know
no.
Rex Ryan from Buffalo situation.
I don't see
So
how
stupid.
anyone could want him for. He's a hype guy.
Okay.
Just a bum.
So Rex Ryan actually wants to go back to coaching the Jets.
No, does he?
Yeah, he wants to interview.
Oh, that'd be horrible.
I think
So-
he's been out of the game too long.
Oh, I'm not saying
First
it's a
off-
choice. I'm saying he wants to go
He
back.
wasn't even great in the game.
You got to be real good. We Jaguars need a big shape up on defense. If we're going defensive coach, I'd probably want Flores, but
So
Aaron Glenn would do. But I don't want a defensive coordinator for a
Yeah.
coach, especially with Trevor. Trevor needs more help still.
So, based on that said alone, Patrick Graham has been submitted for a request.
I don't even know who that is.
Raiders defense coordinator.
No, why?
Exactly.
They
He's
suck.
Brian Flores, Vikings DC.
Okay, look what he's did. Where he won with the Chargers and got fired. I think he had a winning record and got fired. I think he didn't do so good. Where'd he go? Miami. He had Tua. Is that right?
Yeah, but hold on. When we go through the rest of them, then we'll shit talk.
But I could live with Flores.
The other people that have been submitted but they haven't confirmed is Kellen Moore, the Eagles offensive coordinator.
Hey, that's kind of okay. Match maybe Sean McVay type.
Todd Monken, Ravens offensive coordinator.
That's Lamar and Henry, man. I don't think he's
Liam
gonna play
Cohen,
calling.
Bucks offensive coordinator.
This guy is like a hot thing right now, and they think he's been there for 2 years. They think he's the guy that got Baker all this. They had another guy before him. He's been there 1 year with Baker. This guy's getting a lot of hype. Jacksonville. A lot of people think he might end up here. I pray he does. I think he's.
And the last person before you get all so excited, okay, before you get Red Rocket over there, last one is Joe Brady.
Now
Bills offensive coordinator.
Nope.
this is who I
You want
want.
to keep him?
No,
Like, fuck
I've
it.
liked him
Keep
since he was
He's
with
a terrible
LSU.
coordinator. Nobody needs him. He's horrible.
Yeah, I bet.
He's the
Anyways,
worst you've ever seen.
look what he did with that LSU offense, highest scoring college offense ever. I mean, of course they did have Burrows.
Because they even asked Allen on an interview about that, and he's like, "No, he's a terrible dude. No, just take him. Just ignoring
No,
him there."
man, Joe Brady is very hot.
Oh, 100%.
Well, these are all.
As long as he stays in the playoffs, he keeps him away from everybody else.
I mean, that's how my wish list goes. Of course, is Ben Johnson and Joe Brady, and that's it.
These are people that they were trying. These are people that submitted a request interview, and only three.
He's actually really good. Unlike the bum DeBow whenever he went to
Daboll.
Giants. I hate that guy.
Look, that's when he was throwing all the picks, right, with Daboll?
Yeah. A part of it, yeah. He was from what I gathered, because I'm a huge Bills fan, he was real, like, argumentative, and he fought everybody, and just was, like, almost a cancer on the team, essentially. And then everybody's like, oh, he went to the Giants, they did good. And you just see how they've devolved since
Giants
he's been
did
there.
not do.
Devolved so
Yeah.
quick. Daniel, what's his name?
Jones.
Yeah, he might go to the Browns, maybe get a resurgence in his career.
They would have to miss out on the draft and a lot of free agency, man. That guy, I don't know if he's gonna be a Darnold type. He can run, he's a little athletic, but I don't know. I don't trust his arm for anything.
Remember when he fell down running for a
I
touchdown?
also remember when he ran like 90 yards for a touchdown against the Jaguars.
he was booking it. He just
That white boy can run.
fell down. That shit was so.
So this is nothing's been confirmed yet, but there's we're on the campfire, but we know.
So-
So see how that can be with me.
We know who I want. You're a Jags fan. Who do you want as coach?
I don't really. I want someone that's gonna win.
Man, come on. You got to have a preference.
I would actually go for Lions offense coordinator.
Non-DCs. I'm so tired of
That's
Jags
what I
bringing
said.
DCs.
No DC.
They bring in DCs.
This is an
They don't bring-
NFL league now. The rules, everything is made for the offense. They want scoring.
I mean, surprisingly, the Bills have a DC coach and they're doing well, but he's not arrogant enough to want to take over the whole team. So
And he's smart enough to hire a guy like Joe Brady.
yeah.
And look at the defensive coordinators.
Well, we also have a great GM.
Look at the defensive
Yeah,
coordinators that we've had as head coaches. The great defense coordinator, great defense. Shitty.
But we're talking
That's not the way it
coaches.
goes though.
I want to talk about the big problem in Jacksonville, which is the general manager.
Yeah.
Trent Baalke,
Yeah.
this guy, he's a snake. He goes behind his coach's back. People don't even know. Caldwell got him the job to work under him in Jacksonville. And then Caldwell, bro, just say it out loud. Whatever.
Use the arm.
Hello, can you hear me? Anyways, Caldwell got him the job. He went behind Caldwell's back, took the job from Caldwell. This guy's a snake. He was, even though Urban was doing snaky stuff, he was ratting him out. He's a rat. I do not like him. He's not good at drafting. This guy, he drafted back 3 times and got Harrison, the lineman. You know, it worked. He did pretty good his first year. Had an awful year last year, but he traded back, got all those picks, and then Joey Porter Jr., guys like that are sitting there at the beginning of the second round. We have more capital to move up. Nobody would move up. The other GMs do not like him. He talks. He's very arrogant. They're not. He has no friends. I want a guy. I look at what the Eagles do, man. I'm like, what's his name? Tannenbaum. Throw this guy any amount of money. He went to the University of Florida, so Jacksonville, he probably wouldn't be. Just throw him all the money, or Ben Johnson, whoever he wants to bring him. Just because it gets Ben Johnson.
Well, Jacksonville, I mean.
But I think until Baalke's out the building, I don't think we're going to build a continual winner. He just whiffs on the draft. I outdraft him every year in my mind.
So I'm going to really talk about GMs real quick, or GM positions rather.
Yeah.
So, Tennessee Titans have approached Catherine Hitchman, who's the assistant GM for the Browns.
Catherine?
Yep, she could be the very first
I was
GM
about
in
to
the
say.
NFL.
Yeah, she must have been assistant. Hey,
I think
good
that's
for
pretty
her.
badass. I think it's badass.
I don't think you got to be a man to be a general manager.
I'm not a Browns fan, so I don't know who she is, but still.
I listened to a radio show called Helmets and Heels. These girls know way more than me, man. So if she knows that's the one thing Baalke, I will give him. He knew the money, the contracts. He knew how to write them right to where they were, after 1 or 2 years, you could move on from the guy and not take big penalties, not do stupid stuff that cripples the team like the Browns did with giving Watson all that guaranteed money. Like in the Ravens, he was smart. He would not budge to Lamar. He guaranteed everything. That's ridiculous.
Let's be honest, if he panned out, if he panned out, it'd been one of the moves of the decade if he panned out.
They did the same thing with Kirk Cousins in Minnesota. He started that guaranteed full contract. Yeah. And Kirk Cousins, all his yards are trash yards in games that are blown out or whatnot, and he just racked up the yards.
They call him the White Dak Prescott.
It's ridiculous.
I do think it was crazy how quick Atlanta gave up on him at the end after like 3 games after he had a 500-yard game. But
Makes you wonder why.
they did have a guy ready to go, and it'll be interesting when we get free agency to talk about where guys like Cousins and Rodgers and all them fit in, because there's the new rookies coming. It's always people's jobs is going to shift.
Speaking of shifting jobs, word on the campfire, nothing confirmed, nothing. This is just rumor in the Twitter stream.
Rumor and innuendo.
Exactly. It's Mike Tomlin maybe talking to the Browns.
Why?
It's word. I don't know. It's word in the Twitter sphere.
Is he trying to get someone from their front office? Why would he want to coach over a historic Steelers team? Like,
It's also the Steelers too.
It's got to be about having total control or something.
It could be, but also all the friends of the Steelers teams. If you don't have a good year, they want you out.
This is one of the podcasts. I wish I was over there.
However, Mike Tomlin has
because I think someone just said that in a tweet, being goofy or something, man.
Antonio Brown.
That's why I said
is Antonio Brown the source?
Maybe. Because he's full of useful information.
Since Belichick retired, I think Tomlin is the best coach in the NFL right now. He always gets his team to the dance, and even though the years they don't get to the dance, they still have a technical winning record. As an NFL fan, that's all you can ask for. And there's not other teams doing. There's guys they'll go to the playoffs 3-4 years, then miss 1 or 2, then get back in. You know, Packers, Eagles, stuff like that. But the Steelers every year winning records since he's been there. They've been blessed. They had Cowher before him. What's their long time? Chuck Noll or something? Was he their long time guy?
As long as I've always known Bill Cowher was coach.
I'm talking about they had a coach for like 30 years before Cowher, but and he won some Super Bowls for them. So
Speaking of Belichick too, there's also talk that Tom Brady has been hounding his nuts to come to the Raiders to coach and abandon his job.
he just took the job with North
Yeah,
Carolina.
he does. Yeah, I know. Bacon was canceled and over there.
I think that the contract's in place and getting out of it and the headache. He's got that young girlfriend. I think she wants to go to some sorority parties. I think he's having a late midlife crisis. He's having a late life crisis. But if he wanted an NFL job, he knew he would have waited. So I don't know. I was baffled by him taking that job. But
Brian with the big sigh.
first, and also, Tom Brady has no say-so, right?
Let it flow. Let it go. Release it.
I don't know. I think Belichick's done. Like, I think in the NFL wise, he didn't draft well in the later parts.
Nobody interviewed him the year before.
Yeah, he
had
had Brady who still carried him until he left, and then his drafts, his free agencies, yeah, they were great in the beginning, but the last 5-6 years he did such a piss poor management. They sort of slowly.
The NFL is ever evolving, and sooner or later, everyone gets left behind.
It's traditional with any NFL team to get rid of any key player the rest of the part.
He's always done that. He's always gotten rid of players and brought in players and put people to fit the position that worked. But
he was lucky that
he was always signing
his
players
coordinators would get
season.
coaching jobs, fail, and come back, and he had that cycle. He was he had Tom Brady that whole
that's what I'm
time.
saying. Yeah.
He's always traditionally been known to grab players at the twilight.
Those first
twilight
Super
of their
Bowls,
career to put in key spots.
I give him a lot of credit in those first Super Bowls where they're barely winning, they're kicking at the last second.
Well, his defense crushing it. He was crushing, and then.
But late years, those were Brady offensive teams.
Yeah, that was. I think that.
So we have
It's just like if you try to say Cowher comes back and he does well. I don't think Cowher would.
And you notice when they had the
I don't
GM,
think he would.
if he was going to come back, he would come back within the first 3 years.
Cowher's.
Yeah. But everybody's like,
I expected Cowher to come back whenever we were taking like Gus Bradley. I was like, oh, I want Cowher, but I've been over a defensive coordinator as a head coach since Gus Bradley. I don't, especially whenever you have a guy like Trevor or you're drafting a young quarterback. This is an NFL league now. I'll continue to say it. I mean, you want a good defensive coordinator, but I don't think you want a D coordinator running the whole team unless he has a good buddy that's going to be his offensive coordinator that's a genius and doesn't want to head coach yet. Like you just got to get lucky for a few years to pull that off. I think an offensive guy can come in and stay for a while.
So, do you have any thoughts about anything else on NFOS?
Just Jacksonville, man. If Ben Johnson will come here, but you got to do something with Balky. Just do it, Shad. I know you're not listening. Tony Khan's probably watching wrestling, Japanese wrestling, in his dad's yacht's basement. But come on.
And his dad's yacht's third boat inside the ship.
Like Tony Khan, that's a whole nother thing. I'm scared if Sean passes and TK has to run this team. That guy, I was a wrestling fan, man. He's
TK's
out
stock
there.
is skyrocketing, by the way.
TKO? Yeah, I'm talking about TK Tony Khan. That's what they call his wrestling. He's buddies with all his wrestling. He's not like Vince McMahon.
I don't care. Well, Vince McMahon's not part of it anymore, but
Yeah.
TKO is skyrocketing.
You bought some?
Maybe.
Yeah, I saw you went on last week.
There's as we all know, Facebook pays me because I have X amount of views. But yeah, when I get my quarterly dividends, I do make purchases.
Yes, it's a very smart one. I told you guys.
It's free money.
I listen to wrestling podcasts. It gets brought up often how it's always growing. It's been growing for like 4 years. Before it was TKO stock, when it was WWE stock.
Back when then it was acquired and then transferred. So is that it? Oh, it was sports wise because it's got a couple of things I want to talk about.
No, we'll talk about free agency and draft.
When you come
Yeah. Just, I will say Jaguars have the 5th spot.
What are your thoughts on us just taking a couple months off before the draft, and then start season 2?
Man, we'll do whatever you want to do.
Fair, we'll figure it out. So, that was my sexy wife.
Because right after Super Bowl, it's going to be free agency and draft. We can take a few weeks, I think.
That would be a smart ass.
Please do.
No, I'll wait on it.
You're on a podcast. Come
You
on.
need to get
do
up
it.
on your NBA, bro.
Do it. Do it.
First off, it's do it. All right, you're gonna do it. You gotta do it.
Nike.
Screw it. Palpatine. I love Palpatine.
Oh, I know.
Do it.
He's the best. Sorry.
What are you gonna say?
Big
Smartass
Star Wars
wise.
I don't
fan
remember anymore.
myself.
That's all you had to say. Smartass wise.
No, I forgot. You know what I mean?
Have you
Just-
seen Skeleton Crew?
Not yet.
I haven't yet. But
So-
did you watch Ahsoka?
That was right.
Speaking
You know
of which,
the Hound.
hold on. Actually, being bored of running TV shows, I went ahead and started the Star Wars thing. You watch it all in order, if you will. I watched the first 2 episodes of the
Mandalorian.
no,
Clone Wars.
the one that they said was social justice film. I'm not getting into politics. About
Oh
that.
God.
Oh,
the
you
girls,
call
the twin girls.
That crap.
I watched the first one,
Look.
and it's not that bad.
Listen, the pieces are there.
Not that.
You'll
bad.
see. You wait till you get around 4 and 5.
Dude, don't look at me like that way. It says not.
he
that
hasn't
bad.
seen it. We know what's coming. He doesn't know.
I
Anyway.
watched episode 1. Okay.
Look, Jeremy, I'm gonna tell you.
I saw Trinity die. Okay. It was
Did you?
great.
It was horrible.
Did you?
Yeah.
Horrible.
Did you?
I
Terrible.
saw the actors die. Yeah.
Just a
Okay.
fucking shit show. It devolves every week more and
Trust
more.
me.
Well, then I've got time to
Look,
wait.
the pieces were there. They just cooked it wrong. They had the ingredients, the order placed, and trust me.
And they changed so much. I
But
don't know. And they brought shit
The
that said
whole
it wasn't canon,
pronouns
now it is
thing
canon,
comes
and-
in. Yeah.
Well, I think,
They went from
I heard
making-
a lot of people are upset.
now
because
Anakin isn't as special.
Canon.
Yeah, he's not special.
I heard they're not gonna. They don't want that as canon already.
What's that? They already dropped it.
Yeah.
They already dropped it. It's already
Not a season
it's gone. No season 2. They dropped off canon.
Yeah,
But a
Yes.
show that does have season 2 is Ahsoka,
and
and they just recast that.
Endor.
Ray Stevenson was Scroll or whatever the guy's, and he had a big role at the end of Ahsoka. They found something, and they were like, "Oh my God, that was such a great story." Now they got to cut it, but they Star Wars does something they don't do often. They recast the guy Rory something. He played the Hound in Game of Thrones is going to take his spot.
Oh yeah.
They don't look alike, but they are both big, tall guys, and it'll go fine.
So James Mangold, who's directing the latest Star Wars film, they're basing this movie 25,000 years before The Phantom Menace, which is smart.
Yeah, I think
Yes,
there's
they're-
always a good way to.
Well, they're doing that because it also this way it doesn't conflict with any type of canon or backstories. This way people say
With Star Wars movies, though, I don't even talk about it until they start filming because so many have been canceled, and
dude, it's the
it's
most
like the Game of
canceled.
Thrones prequels. Like once they start recording, I'll consider it a movie that might come out.
I mean, I've asked Brian this question before. but
They've got like
I'm gonna ask
9
you this.
movies in development.
Do you think maybe when they play a movie, then they do the screen test, they do the screen check with for sneak previews? If it doesn't get good reviews with those viewers, do they then play the sexism or the not the sexism or the?
That's what that
Racism
lady
line.
did. She was the girl director on that. She played all those cards, but
I'm saying, do they play
Oh, you
that?
talking about that
after-
one crap show?
yeah.
And they
Well-
kind of shot themselves in the foot.
How,
Do they do
we
that
gotta
when
get
it
the
fails-
name of
when
the
it doesn't
show.
do off the
It
test?
was oh my god.
The Power of Two.
Yeah. God damn it. What was it?
The Rule of Two.
No, it was the Power of 2.
Them two talking. There was no.
Yeah, it was.
Sith.
in
They
that
weren't in
show.
the Sith.
They weren't Sith. No.
How do you not know the name and you're
Technically, they're trying to make them. What were they called? The witches.
And they weren't that version of them, which is
Not even
the
close.
sister
Which is
witches.
crazy because they already had it in a show earlier.
This like I consider that show fan fiction.
Well, that's
Horrible fan fiction.
And the reason why too is because Darth Bane's one started the Rule of Two when it came to the Sith, not the witches.
I know. We're not talking. No. The witches had their own.
The
thing.
Acolyte is the name of the
Acolyte.
show.
Yeah, horrible.
Thank you.
But they had some stuff with who did Palpatine Plagueis?
Plagueis.
Teasing at the end.
Plagueis started the rule of 2. Actually.
This is another reason the director got fired. She requested $50 million to make extra scenes, and she didn't use them. And that Disney got pissed.
According to this right here, it's
There's many reasons.
Darth Bane's one that started the Rule of Two.
That's the rule to all that, but who cares? I'm a Darth Revan fan. That's who I want to see. I want to see Keanu Reeves play Darth.
So, you know, Lucas actually gave, whenever he signed over Disney, signed over Lucas to Disney, he actually had everything written for the Old Republic
Yeah,
and everything. It was, and then he even had it backdated to where he wanted to do, the Sith Jedi Wars, but.
He signed the wrong deal. If he still wanted any involvement, he should have did 50-50
Well,
or
now
something.
he's He's a shareholder.
Shareholder, they don't care. You still don't have creative control. That's
but
what
he
he
can-
gave up.
But he's kind of pushed a lot of. Well, they've been bringing him
Like
back on
what
the set
Vince
now.
did with TKO, that
Yeah.
type of deal is the type of deal
They-
he
they-
should have did, where he still would have had control.
Well,
of
if
Disney
the
would have
teams are
distributed.
dropping, he can always buy more and then do
Look,
that's what he said.
Star Wars
That's what he's
has a
doing.
built-in fan base.
Well, look, that's what he's
They've
doing.
lost a lot though.
The movies are going to get watched. They're still going to continue to make money. It's still a cash cow. I think they're putting too many shows and all that. I understand they're putting them in different eras, and you can do that.
They've lost so much off those shows, and then Ray. I don't think Ray's going to do well. They've already cut $200 million off that.
And then The Mandalorian's doing a movie itself, so that's going to be it. That's the best show they got right now.
I only
Yeah,
watched the first
but
season. of
season-
We'll continue to watch it. It's
Season
good.
2 is
I'm
good.
gonna
Season
get- I'm
3
gonna get there,
drops.
'cause I'm on travel.
You might as well stop the accolade and
I'm
go
gonna-
watch
Don't
The
even-
Mandalorian.
I'm,
You can if you want.
I have
You would
to.
be the first
I have
person to like it if you like it.
I
And
said,
I know,
I
in
said the
person.
first episode was alright. It's alright.
Yeah, no.
But I mean, then again, I was
I went
also
through
watching
that.
TikTok half the time too. But that's probably why it was alright.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
you got to pay attention in that show because they're going to play around with your timeline and whose views and all that.
Oh, it's completely screwed all
Yeah.
the timeline.
That's what I'm
It's
saying. They had the
horribly.
pieces, they just didn't cook it right.
They destroyed the time. Everything that happened from episode 1 up is completely negated by the show.
They made Anakin less special. Also, they did a lot. It was fan
So-
fiction.
so-
Well,
Enough
according-
about the acolyte.
According to the
Has
according
anyone seen Skeleton Crew yet?
No,
I haven't. I
it's-
usually watch everything.
Skeleton
right as it
Crew does
comes
not
out.
happen until after episode 4, according to the thing.
It's on now.
I mean, according to the timeline. So I won't get to it until.
Oh, you're watching everything in the timeline.
Yeah.
There. Okay.
That's weird.
Your mom's weird.
Do you have a printout of the
I
whole
love you, Mark.
timeline?
Weird.
I love you, mom.
Some of the
much.
shows coexist at
Oh,
same times and
timeline.
stuff. Did you like that? Find the timeline, in every show, every movie, and you're gonna go down that
But
list?
even then, the timelines are so skewed of how
Yeah,
it's
so
someone do
it's
it.
not even. Some of them are just not even close to what it
Watch
should
Clone
be.
Wars, watch Rebels, watch the movies,
I like Rebels.
watch Mandalorian.
Never finished Clone Wars, but like what I saw.
I learned a lot in
I-
Clone Wars.
When I came to the Clone Wars, I never watched I watched the Cartoon Network 10-minute shorts.
Those first 2 seasons, it's a very kid show, and then around season 4 of the Clone Wars, it's very mature
Well, I
show.
think they realized that like most of the
Yeah.
audiences are adults. We're like, oh, we'll
Yeah,
push it
exactly.
this way.
And that was the right move because the later seasons of Clone Wars is great. Like Ahsoka, her now it shows why her personality's changed since she's grown. That she's very different, but a lot of stuff happens to her. She's got one of the best stories I like to follow. Of course, you know Anakin's the man. What a great story, Luke, all them. But this Mandalorian, I'm loving. Enough Star Wars talk though. What other talking points we got here?
Spider-Man 4 movie.
We
So the movie,
We've talked this before.
rumor. No, hold on.
I'm tired of
we
Marvel.
talked about it
So-
because I asked you if
The
all 3
rumored
were going to be
villains-
in it.
The rumored villains we're talking about.
Okay,
This time it's gonna be Shocker and Scorpion.
I'm not familiar with either of them.
Okay. Scorpion's self-explanatory. It's got a tail.
Okay.
Shocker's pretty much like Electro.
But also, obviously, they want
But
Tom
it's a
and
preemptive-
Zendaya to carry the
Yes,
movie.
Bengals.
It's a preemptive for Spider-Man 5, which is maybe the Sinister Six, which that's something that's done in every cartoon but never done in the movies.
Okay.
Captain America: Brave New World slated to come out.
When's it come out?
They haven't finished filming.
I've seen the trailer and stuff. It's gonna be coming out soon.
Oh, you know what? I got the power of gavel.
Yeah.
But apparently they've written Seth Rollins out of it. They've cut Seth Rollins out of it,
Okay.
which
MJ,
happens all the time.
MJF got cut out of Iron Claw. You know, these wrestlers, I guess they like to play with them, but
It's supposed to be Red Hulk in it too, that's on the trailer. It's going
yeah, I'm
to
ready to see Red Hulk. That's gonna be, but they got a very old guy playing him, so that's weird.
They're releasing it on Valentine's Day this year, so
How old is Harrison Ford? 80?
probably.
It's ridiculous. Like, who thought of that?
They butchered it so much. I
82.
just
He's
stopped watching.
82.
82. Like, how's this guy gonna be? I know, obviously, he's got stunt doubles and everything, but
I don't know what we got.
Did Indiana Jones?
Clint
Last
Eastwood.
one. You saw
that
that
was
run?
like he was like 70.
You
in
saw that
one,
run?
though.
That was
12
a
more
sweet
years.
run. His legs looked like they're about to snap out.
You got Clint Eastwood still alive, so he's in his 90s.
He's not doing action movies.
And he just directs.
He just directs, or he might sit on a couch and do
Yeah.
some lines, or
Yeah.
he is not
No,
doing
he
action.
doesn't care.
Harrison Ford's got a blood boy. That's what it is. What that blood boy is he's pretty much. If you've never watched, I forget it, but if He's got a guy where he's doing dialysis with a guy that's like half his age with a designed diet, and that's cycling his blood out.
He's probably going to
really good.
Colombia, getting the stem cells.
I didn't say all that. I didn't say all that.
I'm pretty sure all of those guys do that. All the wrestlers do it now.
Getting test.
Michael Francis, the Mafia guy, he just got it done recently. He's all saying, man, if everyone can live the next 5 years, the technology is going to be out to where everyone's going to live till they're 100, blah, blah, blah.
Nah,
Gavin fucking Belson from Silicon Valley did it, so that's why I'm saying that. What's Harrison Ford's done that.
Speaking of Los Angeles, man, James Woods, I caught the interview, his house burned down.
No, it
What a
didn't.
letdown.
No, it didn't.
What?
Came out today. His house is still.
Oh, okay. Well, his neighbors protected it.
Mel Gibson's house burned down.
Yeah, a lot of celebrities lost their houses.
care about Mel
Diddy
Gibson.
lost his house,
I
right?
was getting ready to say that.
Hey, all that evidence.
The real reason.
If
Oh,
they missed
yeah.
anything in that raid, it's gone now.
Because there was what?
All the
There's
baby
a-
oil.
There's actually a schedule to go in 2 days, or in 2 weeks, there's actually a schedule to go through and inspect the area. Well, guess what? There's nothing to inspect now.
Yeah,
If only they went 2 weeks prior.
Or they
I
could've
know we're
gone
not
for
usually
months and months and
political,
months.
but I'm just going to ask one question. Do you think this kills Gavin Newsom's future to run as...
God, no.
For some odd reason, they just.
He's did a horrible job there, though.
They still like
Not
him.
just this.
He just-
I know they like the way he looks and talks.
It's
and
like
stuff.
Trudeau. They just love how he looks and presents himself. He's a great talker, and he just sucks at everything. So.
We're not getting political, but at the same time.
But I mean, there
if
was
you
no
live
water in the
California-
fire hydrants.
If you live in
If you
California,
live in Los Angeles, them fires happen. You got to be ready. That's got
if
to
you
be a
live in
top
California,
priority.
you know it's like to already be Canadian because you're already paying insane taxes. Anyways, moving on because we're not trying to go that route.
I'm just saying it's. I don't know if this is true. I heard an earthquake hit around there too. That's not true, is it? If they have a wildfire and an earthquake at the same time,
Might
man.
help.
Well, my question is
Take
why
a
did
break.
so they have all the damn salt water that's on the coast that they could grab and drop on the thing, but they're worried about the salt actually killing the soil. I'm like, well, guess what?
The fire.
You'll stop the fire, and you're not growing crops on that soil. So what do you care? You know?
They have the ability to siphon most of the salt out anyway.
Yeah.
It's California. They do whatever they want, and then
It's
they
all-
go, "We're the best.
It's all for show. It's all for show. That's all it is.
We're the best."
There's a reason why Hollywood's there. It's one hell of a great TV show.
Next talking point.
Next talking point.
It's gonna be one of our long ones. With less picks, it's crazy.
Yeah, but we had a good
We're
conversation.
gonna talk. We're gonna run it.
Look at this man talking shit. Okay, so we got Ford announced that they've got the new Mustang GTD Spirit of America coming out. They're releasing out to the public.
Is
It's
this
going to
something
be.
you just saw on your computer. Is this a
Oh, I've got stats written down.
Okay.
So there's two things. One, it's got 815 horsepower supercharged V8, and it's going for $325,000.
Okay.
I'm not a car
Would
guy.
you like to know why?
Because it's pink.
Limited edition. That's why. But who's gonna pay $325K for a Mustang?
Because you have money. If I won the $1 billion, I'm like, "Fuck, what? I have nothing to.
It's like the Cybertruck.
Yeah. First off, if I had money, I'd have bought the Cybertruck. I'd turn it right into a Warthog. Immediately
Beat me to it.
would have ripped out stuff,
I sent
customized
you a
it, put
picture
it.
of that meme. Remember that?
Look, I was talking about turning the Cybertruck into that before the Cybertruck was put out. In actuality,
That was his idea. Elon ripped him
Look,
off,
first
stole
off-
the patent.
Elon and I are best friends. We hang out every other weekend.
But he stole your patent.
It's
and you
okay.
gotta do
It's
that?
fine. You know,
Friends are friends.
that's what friends are for. Look at him.
Yeah. Help me with some of that Cybertruck money.
Yeah, well,
All right.
you got $20. Here you go.
Gas
You
money.
didn't say how much.
So
Gas
200.
money for an electric truck.
So 325K for a Mustang, or 250K for
Oh, that's just because it's the horsepower too, and because the V8s are being almost phased out across the board. Most manufacturers like the Charger and the Challenger and whatnot are being phased out for electric vehicles because they technically get more horsepower, but it's just not fun. You can't customize, you can't do the things you'd like to do. And with all the extra traction control, you can't really do all the fun stuff that you would do. Most drivers like. Trust me, I work with a few people that are car guys, and I mean, yeah, electric's more efficient, I guess, but technically not.
They're getting safer every year. They want people to wreck their cars but live and then buy another one.
Yeah,
Look,
set up everything.
That's fine. Get a super smart car, because when I cut in front of you, your car's gonna automatically brake. It's fine.
I'm driving.
There's nothing you can do about it.
I'm going to catch. I'm going oil efficiency by getting a motorcycle. Okay. So 5 miles.
Look,
tank.
you can even outrun a
I
bus.
think he
Why
saw
do
the
you
movie
motorcycle?
Bike Riders, and now he wants to be one.
Sons of
What was
Roads.
it? The hog, something hogs.
Wild
Hog
Hogs.
Riders.
Wild Hogs.
I know
Wild
Wild Hogs.
Yeah, wild hogs. That's weird.
Yeah, I want to be a dentist and do that shit. No. Have you guys watched the TV show Landman?
I've heard it. I've heard
What's
it's
that?
good.
TV show Landman.
It's one of Taylor Sheridan's shows. His
It's
newest.
on Paramount. It's got Billy Bob
Billy
Thornton on
Bob
it.
Thornton.
No, I haven't seen
Thank
it.
you.
I'm
What
so
is
behind
it?
everything.
No, you said it. Billy Bob Thornton.
Let's talk about anime. I'm behind everything. Even anime, I'm behind.
But it's also giving a lot of insight to the oil industry to the point of how much money that brings to the economy.
I mean, look at
But
Quinn.
it's a lot of us already known this, but it's also showing to everybody else that ignores shit.
Yeah.
Taylor Sheridan shows I still haven't watched Mary Kingstown yet or Tulsa King, man, but
Tulsa King's
Tulsa King is good.
like
yes,
that.
I've got to get on it. I don't have Paramount. I'm doing a rewatch of Dexter, and then we might have to go get Paramount and get some of them shows.
Well, it's season 2 of that's out, but it's also got 1893, which is a pream to.
I've seen that one.
And there's 1943, which is
Haven't seen it. It's 1920.
which that's got Harrison Ford in
I know.
it. Okay, so there you go.
I can see him doing that, being the old grandpa on the Western farm, but being freaking the Red Hulk, no. Bro.
He's Red Hulk.
They should have got a guy who was in his 50s.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Hey, Billy Bob is a hell of an actor, and they'll do the same thing, stunt doubles. Yeah, I'd have took Billy Bob in that role.
Should have been The Rock.
Wait a minute, you don't think they're going to inject him with the red dye and make him the Red Hulk?
Should have been The Rock. Rock should have been Red Hulk.
They
They
wouldn't
just-
even need
Rock
to see
doesn't
him.
have a
They
lot
just-
of friends
They
in
could have
Hollywood no
painted
more.
him red.
He burned a lot of bridges.
Well, it's because his contracts, the way he
Yeah.
wants to set them up, they're horrible. Just like, what's his name? Jason Statham. His contract negotiations abysmal too.
When it comes to Dwayne Johnson and what's his name?
My
Vin,
favorite
Vin Diesel.
with them is the one not Lock, Stock, and Two
Snatch.
Snatch.
I
man,
love
That's
Snatch.
my favorite.
I don't know how you went from Snatch, where he played like a great, just overall character, just only a fight guy. It's like
Yeah,
he has ability to do so much more. You know,
He doesn't.
no, Danny, the Germans.
yeah.
So what do you think this the situation with him and Vin Diesel is real? Or do you think that's like Andy Kaufman and Jared Waller situation where it's
Vin Diesel and The Rock.
yeah?
I think they honestly have different opinions on stuff, and they're big celebrities, and they put them together, and two alphas. It's natural.
Two giant egos.
Yeah, two egos.
And they got one ego that has been running the franchise for a very, very long time. And then the other one, his ego's from.
You
The
got to
highest
think
paid
about
actors,
Vin,
yeah.
who's been with all these movies. They're like number 10, and they're like, oh, pause. We got to put out Hobbs and Shaw. With the money we were going to film for your movie, we're going to film this. Like, of course, Vin's going to be like, no, man, let's run this. And y'all do that on y'all's own time. But didn't happen.
Like I said, I really think it's like an Andy Kaufman and Jared Waller situation where it's all for show and it's just theatrical. I mean, you got two actors acting like they're hating each other.
I think they're both fake. They play the role in front of each other to get along, but behind the scenes, they talk trash about
Well, I
each
mean,
other.
you got to think, even what's his name?
Tyrese?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't get along with The Rock.
Yeah.
He's extremely hard to get along with. From what I mean, you hear.
He has his crew now. It's set. He got his way for so long, and now people are like, he's a little older and everything. And he's kind of the same guy in every movie, and that they lost money on some big projects. It's like, hold on now.
And you still got paid though.
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
of
They always
course.
get
So
paid.
The actors always get paid.
Yeah, they don't care.
What's your thoughts? And this is just a crazy conspiracy theory that I'm spinning, throwing out there into the world, just to say, what if they made a movie like this, right? Remember the TV show Young Rock, right?
What?
The TV show Young Rock, where it covered 3 stages of his life.
Yeah.
When he was a child, high school, and college,
Yes.
and then going into the real world. We also learned out the folly of his father, how he crossed from Pennsylvania, and then he went to he did the business in Saudi Arabia, which Vince found out and he fired him for it. What if they did a movie about Dwayne Johnson being bitter about all those years and his father putting that into him? So he chose this rise to fame just so he could fire Vince McMahon.
Come on now.
That's the no, it's the ultimate. It's the ultimate payback. A million and a guy that's at one point had $7 in his pocket comes back and gets a billionaire that create third generation fired or second generation
Road
fired.
fences are so many variables.
That is
and
a
to
hell
get
of a
there-
movie story.
That's, I don't know. You could say that. You could even do that with Stone Cold. Stone Cold had a bitter thing where he said, I'm not going to do it, and then he got fired from it too. So
He didn't fire. He
No, he ran out.
he quit.
He quit.
He quit.
But he was still technically under contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
Same
it
with
was-
same with HBK. They paid him 4 years just so he wouldn't sign with WCW.
Speaking of Vince McMahon, there's the final resolution. He's asked to pay the remaining $1.7 million of the $3 million.
Of the hush money.
The hush money. The suit's been dropped. For the defamation's been dropped, but it's come out and say he's gonna go away by paying that much. And the last thing I'm gonna talk about today is TikTok. They say it's shutting down the 19th. Okay.
I don't know what
But
you're doing.
Kevin O'Leary, Frank McCourt, who's the former owner of the Dodgers, and additional investors are talking about going together trying buying it from ByteDance. Do you think it could happen? Do you think if it does happen, it will kill it? Or do you think it would benefit?
I have no idea. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I'm asking for
Someone
your
that's
opinion.
trying to grow a TikTok. I hope they keep it.
I don't know.
Me personally, I think the sale, I think ByteDance will sell it just to keep it going, possibly, but the sell the majority of it so they're still minority owners. However, I think that would turn, then they would try to do more commercials, which would eventually kill TikTok. Another reason why I said it, because I think that's another reason why Mark Zuckerberg is trying to appeal to more people on both sides of the fence rather than being the
Yeah.
lizard robot. Thoughts?
I don't know. I don't really use TikTok. I don't use social media too much, except for like looking at a couple of things, workouts and anime stuff,
I
and
use
then trip
TikTok.
stuff.
I use TikTok for low moments in my life. When I need to laugh
Man,
or-
some people's lives are TikToks.
Yeah.
They do live all day and
Oh,
get
yeah.
paid.
Mhm.
And some of them will have 1 or 2 people in that room. But this girl that
You get
I
3K
saw
for a million views.
her name's Max from the UK, doesn't turn up. They sleep when
Yeah.
they're on live.
I saw that.
I've
Yeah.
seen most
It's
of
their
that. It's
whole
ridiculous.
thing. It's crazy. So if that shuts down these people, there's gonna be some type of replacement for
That's
some.
very
There was-
true.
I mean, you got to
It's
think
called
TikTok
Reels.
was musically and
Reels.
Divine essentially added together.
It's very true, Michelle. They're like probably people watch every bit of their life sleeping.
Yeah.
That's stupid. I think there's a limit. Social media has killed so much personality for people.
But they do these battles and everything so people send hearts that you pay for, flowers and something, and they
Then
make
if you
money.
send an actual gift, then
Yeah.
it jumps up. Yeah.
And I was making like $30 a week when I was going lives and stuff, but
It's money.
it's a lot of work, and I don't know. I didn't think like, why would someone watch me do this stuff? You're just talking. If you can get a little bit of a room, you can get 5 people talking, you can go on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
very
It's a
difficult.
niche. Just got to find a good niche.
Yeah, so, like a podcast that no one watches that we just do to pretty much entertain ourselves.
Yeah.
It's
Basically.
it's my therapy.
But I mean, it could pick
Any
up.
more talking points?
It's my therapy. But we're coming up to an hour and 3 minutes. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Because my stuff's done.
I'm at 1:27, so that's doing the.
Oh, so it's going to
recording.
speed up again.
Yeah.
So we're going. If you're listening to this right now, we're going to have chipmunk voices. So okay.
What?
So basically, follow, subscribe, SUP Sports UPOP, Josh.
Big S, low U, big P.
Josh Talks Pop 85. That's JOSHTOKSPOP 85.
If you want
TikTok, YouTube.
if you want a motivational text, Ryan, give your cell phone number.
Let me look up your
Like
number.
he said, no social media.
Shit, where's my phone? Oh,
He's
no.
just- talent.
I use Facebook to talk to my buddies in the army.
Okay.
That's
Not
about it.
growing any socials, just
Look,
talent.
I'm just trying to do Muay Thai, lift weights, and travel the world. That's all I'm trying to do.
Are you looking to go? Are you looking to be a Randy Couture? getting in
I think
MMA
he just
40 years
enjoys
old.
the fitness aspect of it.
Yeah, I ain't trying to fight nobody, dude. Look, I felt some of those kicks the guys do when I'm holding pads. Like, fuck that. look, I only got a few fights left in me, and that's when if I have another kid, and their dad wants to act up, and I got to beat up another dad, and that's all I got left in me. All right. Everybody else is getting
Can
shot.
I ask you a question? Why did you pick Muay Thai over Jiu-Jitsu? I hear Jiu-Jitsu is real good for the brain of a human.
Yeah, I mean they're both. Technically, it's a technical sport. I mean, I don't mind jiu-jitsu. I don't mind rolling. I used to roll all the time with my buddies in the army. I had no problem doing that. But I just like striking more.
Okay.
I just think I like striking. I like being on my feet more. To be honest, I'm heavy and I'm older, so getting up and down isn't as easy as to be. No, I just like Muay Thai. I've always liked it. I just like striking more.
Rather freaking knock a guy out than choke him out. I get it.
Well, it's. Everybody here has been in a fight. You're not going to be like, all right, if I
Have
can,
I been in a fight?
I'm not going to be able to booty scoot on him and then grab his ankle and start flippity flips, or can I just kick the shit out of his leg and make him fall down, and then I could just walk away at this point.
Me
5
personally,
pounds
I
pressure,
got
bro.
5 minutes left of fighting left in my life. That's either save my wife from something bad, some jackass last minute worth me, or grab the last Krispy Kreme donut because they're shutting down. Those are my 3 things. That's it.
All right, tell
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I go off easy. I about fought at work about 3 different times.
Am I going for a
last year.
fucking Twinkie?
I
What is it?
I about fight all the time, though, so it could go down.
So I think staph infection is real big with BJJ. That's why they have special soap that people use to wash up with it.
Okay.
Joe Rogan talks about that all the time on his podcast. But then that's also what I'm listening to something that's 20 years ago.
If I lose enough weight before I go on my trip, then I have a buddy who's huge into BJJ. He said he'll get me to go to his gym and do a little bit, but right now
He wants to
I
knock
just
him off.
want to be able to just, if I have to, I mean I can fight
It makes perfect
decently,
sense.
but not great. I'm not gonna be like, well, I'm the best fighter alive, but
I can box.
Just-
that's about it.
just
If you know a
sharpen
little
skills.
bit about any specialty and you fight an average guy, you're gonna win.
I only have the ability to box, and that's it. And keep in mind too, boxing is just fists, and that's it. And there's no legs. There's no get behind somebody. There's no flips.
Yeah, but it's
no
about
nothing.
slipping. And then most of the things like
He wants to kick someone.
yeah,
I'm good at pugilism, and that doesn't happen anymore.
kick
I
sucks.
did karate as a kid. That's my training.
What'd you do? Did you do Karate Kid or Karate?
God, what was it?
Kaibo?
Taekwondo.
It wasn't Taekwondo though.
Was it
Tang
Taekwondo?
Sudo.
Where you what?
It was Korean
Oh,
karate.
okay. So you were doing the Cobra Kai one?
Man, I haven't seen the ends of them.
No.
Yeah, I was doing
Yes.
regular karate.
Okay.
Forms, all that. I got second place every fighting when I went. I always got second place.
Okay.
I swear I won, but
What'd you finish as?
I was a brown belt, black tip or something. I was almost a black belt.
Okay.
But I'm talking about like 11, bro. Like young. I quit for football.
You are
Fumble.
killing me, man.
I don't know how that happened, man.
Yeah, it's your seat, man. You've gotten surprisingly closer to Brian the entire show.
Yeah, because it's better for the view.
Well, it's an orbital pull, a large fan,
Large
gravitational
fan.
pulls.
Don't move the chair, man.
It happens.
You got
I'm
stuff
scooting
on.
up. I'm scooting up.
Okay.
It's more beautiful in my face right here.
So, and before we wrap up, is there anything else we want to talk about?
No, man, I'm looking forward to the college football playoff. I want to see that. It's NFL playoff times. This is a good time for NFL fans. We're down to where all these games mean something, so I'm excited. And then, like I told you, after that, that's where I shine. Draft season, free agency.
Okay. Well, I don't know about that, but this is my therapy, so it's cheaper than calling the doctor and paying a deductible. That's something I want to ask about. It's not political, but it's what's going on. What do you guys think about the State Farm pulling business out of California right before the fire happened?
A lot of churches are doing that. They knew it was going on. It was about to happen.
Where are they going? Texas?
No,
They pulled the fire insurance.
Oh, okay, yeah, because
A ton
man,
of
that's
companies-
yearly. That's what I'm saying about how they didn't have the fire in the reservoirs.
Yeah.
You got to know that's happening every year.
all I'm saying is I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying it's one hell of a coincidence.
Well, they do it here too.
Yeah.
They pulled flood insurance for a lot of people before those hurricanes hit, like Matthew and them.
Well, that's why I have separate flood. But anyways, Okay, so that's been fun, guys. We're gonna get out of here. We'll talk to you next time. Talk to you next Saturday. I have this up before the end of the day.
At Jeremy Blanton on Facebook.
Folks are watching me live.
Blantonius.
They are.
Don't do that. Don't
Blantonius
do
Elcar.
Anyways, it's been fun.
Blanton.
But
Gee
gee
whiz.
whiz, we gotta run. Peace.
Love you guys. Bye.